You are now tuned in to the Middle Initial Podcast, bitch. Now everybody pod nowadays, but it pays when you listen to Drew, Kevin, Case, and in case you missed it, get your spirits lifted. Man, New York's getting covered just to be specific. When the beast will kick it, you get back. Yeah, listen one time, I promise you come back. Now we switching up a topic, you know that we come pack. And I don't wanna say it, but bitch, we want blacks. In fact, we need that. Cause ain't nobody talk like the boys. It don't matter who you like or employ. We've been the best for a minute. Big brains, could've went to MIT. But we like talking shit, here's the MIP.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Andrew L. Casey. You're now tuned into the Middle Initial Podcast. Today is March 4th, 2025, and I'm here with my co-host, as usual, Big Kevy Kev. Kevy Kev, what's going on? Kev, say what's up to the people.
What is going on, ladies, gents, and everybody else? What's cracking?
Kevin A. Lewis here, as usual. How was your, we didn't record last week. That's fine. It's always time. How was your weekend, brother?
It was good, man. It was good. I chilled. It was good. Didn't really do much. Laid up. Got a workout in. Did adult things. Ran errands.
We don't talk much on the show, man. We talk, but we don't warm up. We need to start warming up. I realize that. We got to talk about day-to-day life. People just think we just come here and just we don't socialize. This is my bro.
My thing is I don't really got a whole lot to talk about. That I just don't like. I'm gonna keep it a bean that people would find interesting or that I'm willing to share. So it'll be like you talk about your kids. But I'm not dissuading you. If you want to do that, cool, and I'll add on with what I got to what I got to say. But it's gonna be a lot of you talking about, hey man, Hassan be tripping, and I'm just be like,
he do. Hassan be tripping.
Yeah,
everybody know. Follow on Twitch and everything. They know. Shout out to Twitch. We streaming live on Twitch. For those who've never seen my face on Twitch, you see the gaming stuff like that. This is the mug behind the gaming.
I'm sorry. I apologize for that, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize.
Breathe it in. Breathe it in. JJ's in the chat.
I apologize. I was not behind this, by the way.
That's cute. That's cute.
I was not behind
but everything is set up now. My computer's finally working again. That means you get better audio and all that. And the video was fine, but now I get better audio now. Got the lighting, everything straightened out. JD said turn the face cam off. That's why you blocked. That's why you blocked from now on. You're out of here. But yeah, we're gonna be more interactive. He said turn the face cam off. We're gonna be more interactive with the people, especially on Twitch. Shout out to let me give some shout outs real quick because I'm gonna do things a little different when it comes to how we do the channel. So shout out to my homegirl Diamond, who just was on live. I can't remember her name. I know her name. I don't remember her show. Name of her show. That's bad, isn't it? I'm supposed to know.
Do better, brother.
I'm supposed to know the name of her show.
I'm supposed to know these things, man. Do better.
I'm gonna pull it up. It's all good. I'm gonna pull it up. It's all good.
But I'm just saying you could do better.
we're gonna have an R&B episode soon for the patrons and stuff like that. Make sure you follow her on Twitch, MUVAOFGOTTI. It's the same as her the Twitter, Mother of Gotti, MUVA. I can just type it in. Why am I talking? We have technology now. Why am I
48 years old, but
wow,
we do have technology.
We have technology.
Crusty. We have technology now. Yes.
Wow. Come on, bro. I'm not old and I'm not crusty. If LeBron
you're damn near 50, bro. What you mean?
Wow. There we go again with the lies, man. But make sure you're following Mother of Gotti on Twitch.
Lie I'm telling, but okay.
For the entertainment.
What lie am I telling?
For the entertainment.
He was born in 66, bro. I don't know what lie I'm telling.
You bad at math. If I'm born in 66, it would be 50. So thank you. Thank you for compounding your lie. Big bad at math.
My bad. That'd make you 58. That'd make you even more old. My bad.
I'll be closer to death if I was born. I wouldn't be doing this.
My bad. Great math there, Kev. Good job.
Great math. Follow Diamond on Twitch, Mother of God, and follow her on Twitter. We don't call it X. Fuck Elon. Yeah. So my weekend was cool. I did the adult thing, and we went to the city one of those days, and we got some edibles. Shout out to Cube I know we're not getting paid for this, but shout out to Cube, man. If you're ever in Times Square or near Times Square, go to Cube. I think it's on 38th. Go do some edibles. Go do some THC infused seltzers. Those are only $5. If this goes far enough and they see me, send me some free shit for shouting you out. But shout out to Cube. Just did the whole kids asleep, have some edibles, watch some movies, play some video games, stuff like that. Real calm shit. During the week we hustle and grind and stuff like that. So she's in school, I'm in school, going back to class next week. So there you go. He said he jumped on here thinking I was going to play the game. Disappointed. Nah, bro. We podcasting today. We add a little element to little sizzle to the Twitch sphere or whatever. But breaking news.
He expects to see video game characters, and he came on and saw your faces. No.
Your face is also here.
I'm aware, but we talking about you now. So
okay,
I'm aware. My time will come. I know this.
I mean, listen. If
we're going to be recording for like an hour, bro, my time will come.
If you want to have a handsome off, you lost already. You lost already, bro.
You know what? Hands up. If you want, nah, go back to the first one. If you want. Why are you looking off into the distance, bro? Like, what is this?
Something's on my mind, bro. I was like, in my pensive bag,
bro. Like, okay? Oh my god, dog. What is this, bro?
If you want to have a face on, brother, okay? Nicolas Cage.
Hey man, I don't know about face off, but the aura off has been lost. I'll give you that. You got me there.
Send me your best, okay?
Like, no, I will not. I lost. All right, no, I lost, bro.
Send me your best.
You know what this is? We did Chiefs and Eagles, and it's halftime. Like, I'm the Chiefs, bro. I'm getting my ass kicked. Though. It's over. I don't want to attempt. I just want to run the clock out and forget this game ever fucking happened, dog.
I'll see you next year.
Yeah, right. Like I'll see you in training camp, bro. We're gonna forget this. We're just gonna scrap this. Forget it ever happened, dog. It's over.
Oh man, but let's jump into it. Breaking news: the Jets cut Davante Adams, and she on the ticker below. Stuff that we knew was going to happen. Like you'd be hard pressed to find a team, especially in this economic climate for the NFL. They just raised the salary cap to, I think it's 277, but a lot of teams don't have a lot of space. And to take on Adams and at least half of that money he's owed $70 million. The Jets are going to have to pay him 31 in dead cap. So the other teams have to take on whatever half of that. So they said, fuck it. We're not going to find any buyers, and they let him go. So he just got the news that they cut Davante Adams. I'm pretty sure we don't know where he's going to go until Rodgers figures out where he goes. I'm hoping that's not the case. But do you think with this news coming out that Adams is going to just go find a team like maybe Kansas City, maybe San Francisco, who just traded Deebo Samuels? Like, where do you think Davante Adams goes? Is he going independent or he's going with his boo?
I mean, the safe money is he's going where Rodgers is going, right? Like, that's the safe money. If Davante went with Rodgers, just however many months ago? No, they were traded. He was traded October? 6 months ago, 5 months ago, whatever.
October.
Like, what would have changed between then and now? Now, granted, I guess he played with him again after not playing with him for however many years. Sure. Look, I don't know what would have changed to be like, you know what? I'm off this train. Like, he's old and crusty, just like he fucking was 5 months ago. Rodgers is, that is. I don't know what would have changed. So I think that he's probably going where Rodgers is going. But breaking news like this is so funny to me because this was always a matter of when it happens. Like, I'm in a group chat with my cousin and a whole bunch of other people, and they're not like as in the NFL as like I am, for example. So they're asking questions like, do we think Davante Adams going to get cut? Bro, I entered I don't really talk much like until it's time to slander. I know, it's shocking, right? But I came in, I'm like, bro, just let me tell you this as a guy who is close to it and used to root for the team, and who understands the salary cap on a very baseline level.
Right.
Bro, Tonto Metro and Davante have a better chance of playing for the Jets next year than Davante Adams. That was my exact quote. And then he gets cut the next fucking day. Like,
somebody's going to hear that and be like, who the fuck is he talking about? I'm like,
if you into dance hall at all, look it up. Like, if you 26, 27, you never heard of him, Look it up.
Look
You
it
won't
up.
be disappointed.
Great
They got some bangers. They got
Great
some
times.
bangers. They got some bangers. But yeah, just largely it's like the whole Rodgers era is ending. Like all of his mans in them are going. And they traded a third round pick for what, like 8 games of Davante? 10, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And stuff, but they took swings and they missed the ball several fucking times over. So, but yeah, no, I expect Davante to go where Rodgers goes next. But I guess now he's a free agent, Rodgers is a free agent. It's a little bit different when it's not like, hey, I'm here, come get me. Like it's a little bit different, but I'd expect him to go back to wherever Rodgers is.
I'm gonna say opposite. I think it depends on where Rodgers ends up. Like if Rodgers were to happen to sign with the Giants, right? I don't think Davante Adams is going to stay and go play for the Giants. It's not a bad move because you have a better coach, you have some weapons with the new wide receiver Malik Neighbors, you have Tracy, the running back. So they have some weapons on offense. It could make sense with that coaching system, depending on what they get in the draft. A good draft pick, you know, the Giants could sit there and say Travis Hunter. You know, they could go for they could trade back. There's a lot that you can do with that flexibility. Do I think that's going to be the case though? No, I'm not too sure if he would stick around and stay in East Rutherford or wherever the hell they play MetLife, wherever MetLife is nowadays. I don't know that.
Same place it always was.
It's Rutherford, right?
What you mean?
Listen, bro. I'm so franchise. I'm like, what are they? Newark? I don't know, but
might as well be.
Might as well.
Dump. Anyway, go ahead.
But like let's say for example, the Raiders. You know, Tom Brady, big Aaron Rodgers guy. Let's say he wants to get him. And he doesn't. I don't think Davante Adams is going back to Vegas after all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's dependent on where Rodgers ends up. I think Rodgers, if I could bet where Rodgers is going, I would say if the West Coast is an option, to go to the West Coast. If Arizona makes a trade and, you know, Arizona's perfect for Rodgers. The desert air, all the experimental drugs you can do. You're right by Mexico. That's perfect. It's perfect. This is perfect. True, it's a perfect destination.
Funny, all the
right. Yeah. Would Adams go to Arizona? Why not? You know, I think that'd be something he would do. If Brady were to make a push for Rodgers and he goes to Vegas, I don't think Adams is going back to Vegas. You know what I mean? I don't think the way it ended, he's going back to Vegas. So that's why I say this is depending on where he goes. Do I think Rodgers has a lot of options? No. I don't think he has a lot of options, which means for a guy like Adams who has more options because he's younger, he can still play, and he could play on a better team without Rodgers. He could play for Kansas City. Kansas
City not paying.
We know. Kansas City's not going to spend. We know.
But like, not you bring them up. I think it would take a team like that to separate the bromance.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
The thing is, of the teams who will sign or will try to sign Davante Adams, unless I'm missing somebody who throws their hat in the ring, I don't think many of them are actual like real life contenders. Like maybe the Commanders throw themselves in the. I don't know what they're.
I don't even think that.
Sorry, they just traded for Debo. Sorry,
right.
Excuse me. They're probably out of it. Everybody else that's actual contenders or close to contenders, like they don't have a lot of vacancies at that position. So
what about San Fran? What if San Fran says, "Hey, you know what? We traded."
I don't think San Fran is a contender.
I mean, you don't think they're a contender, but they're borderline right now because considering what they just
like
did.
I think their window kind of closed, but
I agree.
But like with a Shanahan-led team, like you can't really pronounce them dead until they're just dead. All right, so I get that too. They don't strike me as the type who's going to pay a veteran receiver the kind of money that he's going to earn. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but like I think a team like Baltimore throwing their hat in the ring is what it would take to separate Rodgers and Adams, because it's like you look at it from Adams' perspective. Say whatever you want about Aaron Rodgers. Davante swears by the guy. Okay, loves him. They love each other. Blah blah blah. Cool.
Right.
If I'm going to another team, like let's say Adams has come to grips with, I'm never going to win a Super Bowl. Let's just say that he's come to grips with that. Okay, then I'd rather just play with my mans then. Like well, I'm going to another team to not win a Super Bowl. Either way, just pay me a fair wage, and I can play with my mans. Come to work with my mans. Like I know what to expect from him. He knows what to expect from me. I love playing with him. I want to just be happy on that front.
Right.
Like, not everybody's in it for the same shit. Like,
Right.
people are, oh, why Adams keeps following our like that's probably his best friend in the NFL. That's why. Like,
Right.
is
Absolutely.
is it crazy? Hey man, depends on who you ask. But that's
Mhm.
his man, so he wants to play with him. And if he's not going to win a title any fucking way, again, I don't know who's in contention for his services. We'll see. He just got cut like 8 minutes ago.
Right.
We'll see over time
We'll
who's
see.
in contention for his services. But if none of them are a Super Bowl contender, I don't fucking blame him for just being like, hey man, just pay me a fair wage so I go play with my mans.
Right.
Simple.
But that's what I'm saying with the pairing option, though. I mean, let's get wild. Pittsburgh. They have enough money under the cap. Why not? Why would just if the Steelers want to do something radical, considering that Tomlin, even though I don't think Tomlin's going to get fired, but considering something
He's
like
not.
you have a problem with your wide receiver position with Pickens, you have a problem with your quarterback position picking between Fields and Wilson, which you could just both say no. You could take Rodgers and Adams and go to Pittsburgh, and if Tomlin can't be successful with that, right? If people think Rodgers still has that much left in the tank, if Tomlin can't be successful with that, then you kind of get it out for everybody, don't you? You kind of say like, well, you know what? Hey, Tomlin, you can go. We gave you something, you know what I mean? And then you can say, Rodgers, you're done, and we have Adams for another year, or whatever case may be. And then you have Mad Cap coming up with a new regime.
Given what we know about the Steelers and how they tend to operate, especially in recent years, this idea, as much as it's fucking going to end poorly, it's something they would do. Like, I think they would do that. Like, if they had I think they would do it. Because, look, Russ is gone, right? Like, he's not coming back. Fields, we'll see. If you read the tea leaves, it seems like it's between them and the Jets. I feel like the Jets are probably a little bit more desperate, so they might be willing to pay more. Now, I don't know. I'm just spitballing. So maybe that's not the case. I don't fucking know. If they both leave, then the Steelers are picking like 20th. So not like they're gonna take somebody there to play. So it's just who, like, you're talking about what, Sam Darnold? I don't know if Pittsburgh gonna be wanted to spend that kind of money. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. You're talking about Darnold, you're talking about Rodgers, and who else? Like, the market sucks. So it's like, well, the market stinks, especially if you're not picking at the top of the fucking draft. The market's ass. So you're talking about Darnold, Rodgers, Kirk Cousins when he gets dropped.
Because they're still speculating that he won't, even though, I mean,
brother, listen, Kirk Franklin got a better chance of playing for the Falcons next year.
Listen, hold on. I'm not disagreeing, but the Falcons are
no, I know you're not disagreeing, but I read the same bullshit you do in that regard.
Right.
Oh, we don't know if Kirk Cousins is good. Yes, we fucking do. Yes, we do. It's just a matter of when. Yes, we do.
It is a matter of when.
It's a matter of fucking when. They're not keeping a fucking allegedly disgruntled $40 million backup. They're not.
Right.
Cut him and go sign fucking Chase Daniel or whoever the fuck the in backup is in the NFL nowadays. I don't fucking know who it is. Jacoby Brissett, maybe. Whoever the fuck is willing to take a modest check and shut up. Like, largely, whoever that is, go get them to be your backup and be done with it. He's not coming back. That man is gone. Once they benched him, that's all it was. That's all there was to it, bro. He's gone.
There's a lot of news coming out right now. Adam Schefter announced that the Cowboys and defensive tackle Osa, can't pronounce his last name, so I'm not gonna butcher it, have reached an agreement today on a 4-year, $80 million deal that includes $58 million guaranteed and $20 million signing bonus. So his last name is Odighiziuwa. I can't pronounce that. I'm not gonna try.
Wait, who signed who?
The Cowboys and Osa Odighizuwa. Okay. He's a defensive tackle.
And they signed, what was the deal? Sorry.
4-year, $80 million, 58 guaranteed, $20 million signing bonus.
Hey man, that is. I'm not arguing the validity of the deal or whether they should have paid him or not. It's just funny that they signed somebody that much money that I've never heard of. Respectfully, I've never heard of him. Respectfully, with all due respect, I'm not disrespecting the player. I'm not disrespecting the Cowboys yet, but I've never heard
low hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit. The Rams are in the process of trading veteran offensive lineman Jonah Jackson to the Chicago Bears in exchange for a 2025 6th-round pick. Trade can't be processed until March 12th. That's good for the Bears. Jonah Jackson's scheduled to make $17.5 million in salary, and the Bears are taking on his contract. The Rams don't retain any of the salary.
Odighizuwa is apparently how it's pronounced. Anyway, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, this would look like Odighizuwa. We already spoke on Adams. The Cowboys are also restructuring the contract of CeeDee Lamb, creating $20 million of salary cap space. So I'm guessing with the signing, then the reconstructor of Lamb's contract saves the money. Also, the cutting Adams saves the Jets $29.9 million in salary cap. So yeah, he has no guaranteed money remaining on his contract. The Seahawks released defensive tackle Roy Robert Harris, safety Rashawn Jenkins, offensive tackle George Font, and defensive tackle Draymond Jones.
Wait, hold on. We skipping the biggest one, man.
Oh, George Font.
No.
What?
Saquon Barkley signed a 2-year, $41 million.
I was getting to that. I was getting to that. It's already. Okay. I was getting to that.
Oh, because I got shit to say.
That's the build up. So the breaking news, which I already had queued up in the ticker, was Saquon Barkley receiving a 2-year, $41.2 million contract extension that makes him the highest paid running back in NFL history, per sources. The deal makes Barkley the NFL's first $20 million per year running back. So go ahead, Kev.
Is this what happens when you leave the Giants? you leave the Giants, you get 2,000 yards, you win a chip, and then you get paid money that no running back has ever seen before. Right after that, this is what happens. This is what happens when you leave a toxic relationship and get into a relationship with somebody who cares for you and loves you. This is what happens. Like, ladies and gents, listening to this, if you're looking around at your relationship and you're not feeling it for whatever the fuck the reason is, and it's toxic, and you think you could do better, chances are you can. Let Saquon Barkley be let him be a guiding light for you. Get out of your bad relationship and try and get into a better one. I understand. It's a lot easier to get from one football team to another because you know a whole lot more about the football team you're going to than you will about some of these dudes you're trying to date or some of these women you're trying to date. I understand this. I'm not trying to make an apples to apples comparison. I'm just trying to make some jokes, all right? Don't actually take me seriously, please. Like, I will say, leave your toxic fucking relationship. I'm just saying, for the most part, it ain't going to go like Saquon's last year is gone. Let's just aim for a little bit more realistic a goal. Like, just incrementally better. Stuff that could get better in time. You know, you feel a little bit better. You look a little bit better. Not you went from, wow, we can't win shit, to winning a chip, running for 2,000 yards, and then getting the highest paid deal for a running back in the history of the NFL. But congratulations to Saquon. He deserves it. I still think, like, pushing aside the Giants narrative for a minute, or the Giants jokes for a minute, because I love to make those. But pushing that aside for a minute, I still think, like, looking at the Giants every time Saquon does something is really fucking stupid when we look at it. Now, listen, them boys, they took him number 2 in the draft. They attempted to pay him twice. He said no twice. They paid him market value twice. Or tried to twice. He said no twice. Brother, this is not Madden. This is not MLB The Show. You cannot just put trade override or contract override on and just be like, hey, you're going to sign what the fuck I give you to sign. You can't do that, unfortunately. Right. They tried to pay the man. He said, no, I could do better elsewhere. And he bet on himself and he fucking won. Good for him.
He won
Good
big.
For him. I love that for him. Big. He seems like, by all accounts, a really good dude. Good for him. Glad for his rise to whatever his rise to prominence, his rise to fame, like being the best running back in the league this past year. Good for him. I really enjoy it for him.
Happy. Yeah, I mean, it's a far cry from when he first got drafted to help save Eli's career. That's
why the Giants to draft Ashton GT.
Right.
Like,
the Giants
just Janti, however the fuck you pronounce it.
Ashton Genty. The Giants, you know, they made some questionable moves, and it felt like Saquon, like you said, it wasn't about the money because the Eagles didn't offer him. It was the same amount of money they said the Eagles offered him or something like that, or slightly more, or whatever case may be.
It was about the same.
Right. It felt like a respect thing, right? At this point in time, like maybe he felt like he deserved $1 million more for his respect, right? Or he knew that, hey, if I'm going to be the central part of this offense, if they pay me to be the central part of this offense, and he was willing to.
I think he just wasn't going to take that from them, not because of respect, although that might be a part of it because people do that shit. But It's like, if I'm going to suffer on this bad team, you're not just going to give me market value. Right. Like, that's just not how this is supposed to fucking work. I think that's what this was. Like, if the Giants were good in competing and they gave him that, I think he would have stayed.
Yeah.
It was like, you're dog shit. And I'm going to then, like, if you franchise me, you're giving me the same amount of money just for a shorter period of time.
Right.
Now, yeah, it's a risk because running backs and they get hurt, whatever. It's a risk, sure. But it's like if I just get to next year, I could go pick wherever the fuck I want to go, and that's it. And I don't have to deal with the Giants being and if you guys want to overpay by their standard of overpay, fine, then I'll stay. But like I could get 14 million from you. I could get 14 million from the Eagles, which is what he did. I'm not taking 14 million from you then. That's not how this works.
And he's not. And the thing is also he didn't have to do everything in Philadelphia that had to do it in New York, because remember in New York he had to also go out there and catch passes. He didn't catch a lot of passes in Philadelphia this year. So he was focused on him running the fucking ball. He was primarily a running back. He wasn't
running behind 340-pound dudes who could move how they move, bro. Like
moving mountains.
The situation,
you know
the situation was
moving miles
very
like
much
Usher.
different and better for Saquon in Philly. Very much different.
So he took the same money for a better situation, and it paid off. He was MVP candidate. Go to the Super Bowl, you win a championship, and then you get paid highest. You're paid over McCaffrey, who was hurt in a down year. But I'll say this though, for the running backs and the running back market, this is a good thing. It's a good thing for you guys now, because now your cases can be made stronger. Because this past offseason, a lot of running backs moved, and they moved and played well and made teams better. Mixon, he left Cincinnati, went to the Texans, and he made the Texans offense better. Their defense
didn't.
The
Texans offense was considerably worse. Not his fault.
Not his fault because all the injuries. But when
Bobby Slowick had a massive regression, they had offensive line, not his fault. But they were not better though. They in early on, before everything fell apart, the combination of Mixon, Collins, and stuff like that, they were looking really good. They were looking like and then 12 games because everything fell apart. Yeah. But Jacobs going to Green Bay, like a lot of teams looked different on offense, and this is how you make your case. You do things like almost having a record-breaking season, as Saquon almost doing that. Even Derrick Henry going to Baltimore. I mean, they didn't go to the AFC Championship like that, but still, you go out there, bro. Sorry to cut you off real quick, but like where I stand on the running back arguments. I feel like there's nuance that a lot of people on both sides ignore. I tend to be somewhere like floating in the middle, like I am with most arguments. But whatever, I digress. With all of that being said, Derrick Henry making $8 million last year was fucking absurd. That was absurd. That was fucking absurd. Yes. That made no sense. Yes. That made no sense whatsoever, dog. Like Derrick Henry was making, like, I'm fairly certain the last contract Braxton Berrios signed with the Jets was like $7 million a year. I'm fairly certain.
It might have been.
It was somewhere in that neighborhood. You're not going to tell me that Derrick Henry, and I understand different year, different blah, blah, blah. I do not give a
31
fuck.
Years old.
This is the example that I'm choosing to use. I don't feel like looking up for a current one, okay? Mm-hmm. But you're not going to tell me Derrick Henry is worth $1 more million a year than Braxton fucking Berrios. You're not going to tell me that. So it's like, am I saying go pay him $25 million? No, I'm not saying that. I mean, you can if you want. Get your bread. I'm saying paying him $25 million would be reckless, okay?
Right.
Just in a vacuum would be reckless. If you want to do it, great. Get your money, young man. You earned it, blah, blah, whatever. But, anyway.
But what I'm just saying for the market in general, people can now hinge upon Barkley's success and other guys' success who made to the playoffs, who went to different teams and made it to the playoffs and were part of that success, and say, hey, we do matter. Running backs do mean something. And this is what you needed. You needed a Saquon to move on, bet on himself, have a phenomenal season, and win a Super Bowl. And you can make these arguments, because the argument was, do these players make a team better? Do they make them championship contenders? Do they lead them anywhere? And in the playoffs, outside the Super Bowl, the Chiefs did an amazing job putting a lid on that boy. In the playoffs, Saquon Barkley was fucking lights out. he was lights out. Like, it was like, okay, first quarter maybe slow, second quarter, third quarter, there he goes, out for 60 yards. Then out for 40. Like, the man was picking up touchdowns by the chunk. You know what I mean? He wasn't no. And on top of that, he probably lost an additional 6 or 7 touchdowns that fucking tush push, right? He Saquon could probably possibly have like 23 touchdowns. You know what I mean? So all good. Shout out to that man.
One point about the market before you move on to the next topic. I don't think it affects the market that much, simply because the type of dudes that we're talking about, they thrived in very specific scenarios. Like in this case, we're talking about they went to ready-made, really good teams already, and then made them better. I guess they made already good teams better. Like The Eagles made the Super Bowl. The Eagles were running elite running games with like DeAndre Swift and Miles Sanders and all kind of bums back there playing running back. So like, yes, Saquon. Like the Eagles are smart because they have a team full of dudes who like they drafted really well. So you have a whole bunch of cost control dudes, and then like you pay the elite offensive players. That seems to be what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just like, all right, if you're gonna tell us that we could get an elite game breaker for $14 million a fucking year, we're gonna just fucking do it. And then we'll figure out the rest later. Do I think that affects like somebody who, like, example? Do I think this affects Breece Hall's market? No, I don't.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, Breece is good. Do I think Breece is great? No, he hasn't proven it to be that. He hasn't proven that to be the case yet. And the Jets, well, are the Jets. Like, yeah, maybe Breece gets let go and he goes to some other team that's really good and is their final piece, and we're having the same conversation. Maybe that happens. Right. But for now, like, I think it affects the very top of the market. Like the free agent, the dudes who make it to free agency, like, yeah, sure. Could they get a couple million thrown their way? Because like, yeah, look what Saquon did. Look what Josh Jacobs did. Sure. That could happen for sure. I don't think it affects much more than like the very top of the market though.
Right. No, listen, I agree with you when it comes to that. Let's move forward to the topics at hand. Let's go to this tweet by Jacina K. Rowling. Because
Jesus Christ, bro.
Shout out to her. This bobbleheaded. Let me tell you something, Jacina. You put a tweet out and I was confused by the tweet. And then you DM'd me.
That's nothing new.
Yeah, I was confused by the tweet, and then you DM'd me and said some wild shit. And I'm not going to reveal what you said to me in the DM because
wait, she DM'd you?
Oh yeah, she DM'd me. Because she said something, and I'm like, I'm more confused by this than whatever, right?
Right.
Then she said some stupid shit in my DMs and then blocked me, and I have the screenshot. Screenshots are forever.
Do you have it like on hand? Because you could just send it to me right now.
I would have. Let me see if I still.
Let's do
if I still have it here.
While we're here,
is it here? Wait. I think I have it. Hold on. Because I think I put it in the damn. Where is it? I think. Oh, here you go. I got it. I'm sending you right now. This is the funniest shit ever. And I'm not, and the whole part of this segment is not to badmouth you, but it's you tweet like you read like this, right, with your finger, and
she tweet like the whole class sighed when she got called to read.
Jacina, do you want to read?
Jacina, you want to read? You just see little Jimmy in the corner. Like, oh, here we go again. Oh my god. And it's like 5 minutes before the bell spells are
right. Oh god. And the funny thing is, I didn't say anything disparaging to you. Like I follow you and everything. I just was confused by what you said. And then DM me. I sent the DM to Kev.
Let me see.
Yeah, you can read that to yourself. Don't read it out loud.
I'm not.
Right. So. And I'm just
wow.
I was so confused by that DM because I saw her DM me, so I thought she was going to tell me.
Shots fired.
I thought she was going to clarify what she meant, right? I thought she was going to give me like a breakdown of what she meant, and she said that. I'm just like, oh wow, okay.
Oh. Hey man, listen. As somebody who's gotten my share of threatening DMs from public figures, I haven't got one in a while. I've been skating by free on that one. Hey man, Adam Schefter once told me the streets is watching, bro.
Yo, streets definitely be watching.
Like he DM'd me like the streets. I'm like, motherfucker, is that a threat? And then he blocked me. So the streets is why you better watch your back out here. I'm like, watch my back out here for what,
bro? But Josina, in Josina fashion, this is not the DM. This is the tweet that she put out. Right? Look at this shit.
Ain't nobody doing that. That's a DM.
She writes whole fucking books just to pretty much codify that, the Jets quarterback coach possibly said something disparaging about Shedeur Sanders. So I'll just give you the first paragraph. I'm disappointed to hear that a quarterback's coach from a team drafting in the top 7 referred to Shedeur Sanders as coming off brash and arrogant in his team interview and making his assessment known to a number of people per source. Now, the key thing that I missed, right? Everybody saw that I missed because I wasn't really, because I'm not reading her shit, right? I'm not reading her whole thing. but she said a team drafting in the top 7. And it's like, damn, you're trying to make a code and make it like slick, but you cut off at 7. You could have said a team in the top 10, a team with this that needs a quarterback. You said specifically 7. So a lot of people feel like the Jets' new quarterback coach doesn't like Shedeur Sanders. She went on to say, I'm purposely not naming the team as to not directly call the team out. I'm just sharing that this coach's personal assessment is direct opposite from how Sanders came across to many reporters in his press conference with the media at the Combine. Sanders appeared to go out of his way to acknowledge multiple media members, regardless if they were recognizable or not. He seemed cordial, polite, witty, thoughtful, along with being confident, as many athletes are. Alternately, these observations were distinctly different from how another quarterback prospect came off to some in the media last year in Indy. Again, she says a lot of coded shit instead of just saying exactly what she means, and it's a lot to take in. So if, again, I was confused, and then she DM'd me some funny shit. Not by this one, by another tweet. Send me some funny shit. But that's what I'm calling Josina K. Rowling from now on, because all she do is write fucking books. And they're terrible. They're terrible reads, by the way. They're terrible fucking reads. These books that she's writing. Fuck out of here. Now I don't have to be polite no more because I was being polite. Now fuck out of here with your bad wigs. Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't gotta be polite now because
that's wow. I just wanted on the record. I didn't say that.
Kevin did not say. I'm saying it because you DM'd me and said something.
I respect women.
You said something to me that was unnecessary because I was confused by it. I didn't say
those things.
Oh, I respect women. I could say far worse. But your wigs do be bad. I'm just letting you know your wigs be bad. For all the success and your Emmys and your money, you get a new hairstylist. Anyway.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Wow.
When they go low, you go lower, baby. When they go low, you go lower, baby. You go. You slide under that tag.
Slide under the tag is crazy. Slide under the tag is crazy.
You touch third base.
I can't even do a bit no more because I fully believe in when they go low, you go lower. So I fully believe, fully couldn't believe in it more. Being the bigger man is over fucking rated. Let me
overrated.
Tell you. Listen, I will never start nothing with nobody. I'm peaceful in that way. Now I will finish it though. Like that's the thing. I will finish. Like, I'm not gonna start nothing, but understand one thing about me. I don't ever go looking to annoy people, but nobody's better at annoying people than me. Understand? Understand.
True. That is true.
Nobody better at annoying people than me. I feel like you approach me with some bullshit that you want to whine about. I'm gonna give you something to whine about. It's gonna be like my mom when she used to, put the belt on me, and I would start the fake. I'd be like an NBA player flopping. I'd start the fake crying within 2 licks, and then she's like, "Yo, I'll give you something to cry about if you don't stop." And then I'd stop, and then she would beat me worse. So there was that. But I digress. Yeah, I turned out fine, ladies and gentlemen.
but listen, so pretty much what we all surmise, right? Or some of us surmise it was about Shedeur Sanders. Now, I don't agree. I don't think that specific tweet that she's talking about was about Shedeur Sanders. I mean, about the Jets quarterback coach. But the coincidence of stopping exactly at 7, saying top 7, like there aren't other teams that need a quarterback. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like you said, it's a top 3 team. Like you said, top 7. So people are guessing it's Shedeur. I'll say this much, though. Aaron Glenn did say he is a character guy, right? Mm-hmm. And he doesn't like fake shit. And if he's hiring staff that reflects that, and I guess the quarterback coach name is London. He's from he was the coach of Tennessee and stuff like that. I guess if his staff reflects that, maybe if it's true, because this is just all assumption, if it is the Jets quarterback coach who said these things, one can safely assume that the way that Aaron Glenn has his staff and how he conducts things about being, honest and all that stuff like that, it's possible. Do I think it's the case? No, I don't think that's the case. I don't think Deion said anything different from what Cam Ward said. Cam Ward said if the Jets draft him, he could add to the team. Same thing Shedeur said if the Browns drafted him. I don't know. It does sound like something a hating ass white man would say, especially talking about the amount of money that he made. It does, but there are some Bill Cosby like old cantankerous Negroes do the same shit, right? Michael Jordan was one of them, talking about people like these rookies are making too much money and stuff like that. They should earn it. And hey, I'm a big Michael Jordan fan, but suck my dick. I don't care about that shit. If I paved the way for you to make money, why am I now going to be like, well, you should have made money because I sure didn't make money. You were the best motherfucker in the league for how many years? You were making millions of dollars in endorsements outside the NBA contract, and then you go on Oprah and say, well, I feel like they should earn it. Brother, what's he fucking work study? It's like, what are you talking about? They should earn it. That's how it works.
And I mean, whose fault is that you were born too early? Like, literally, that's what you're mad about. Right. Like, obviously, if you were born in fucking 87 instead of whatever the fuck was born, you wouldn't be having these takes. You would have made as much money as these dudes are currently making.
You would have made KG money.
That's it, right?
KG was the first one to make that real money,
right? So you mad because you were born. Either way, here's the thing about this. Shedeur Sanders being brash and arrogant. Mm-hmm. Is this breaking news?
No,
he is brash and arrogant. Why is my thing is why is that a problem? If he's putting in the work, like his film is good. Like I've watched Shedeur Sanders more than any college football player the last 4 years. So I'm somewhat qualified to speak about him in a way that I will not about damn near everybody else, right? I think he's a good quarterback prospect. Do I look at Shedeur Sanders? Is he great? Like as a prospect? No. Like, could somebody just not take him in the top 10 purely based on the football? Yes. I could see him falling out of the top 10. Hell, I could see him going 22nd. I could see something like that happening come draft day. Now, with that said, and being off-put by brash and arrogance is stupid. It's stupid for a lot of reasons. And yes, we know who they're usually talking about. And we know who's usually doing the talking. So it's annoying from those perspectives as well. But I could understand why you look around and you're like, I'm kind of off-put by this personally. But again, bro, to me, if you're going to be good at all, at any professional sport, you have to have a level of arrogance. Obviously, there's levels to it. And then I think there's a fine line between arrogance and then delusion. I think there's a fine line because you have guys who, you have guys in current media now who talk like we didn't see their careers. For example, that's what I mean by delusion. It's like, yo, you weren't that guy. We saw you. Like, do you know that we could see you? We saw you. We saw your career. You're not that fucking guy, bro. But there's a fine line between arrogance. You're gonna tell me Tom Brady's not arrogant? Of course he was. Mahomes not arrogant? Of course he is. Rodgers was arrogant? Of course he was or is. They're all arrogant. You have to have any degree of success. You athletes who have high level of success. None of them are wired properly. You can't be wired properly and have success being a pro athlete, especially in the era of heightened accessibility. We have more accessibility to these dudes than ever before. Mm-hmm. None of these dudes are wired correctly.
Too much.
All of them are arrogant to some degree. Is Shedeur more willing to be outwardly arrogant than other people? Sure. Understood.
Look at his daddy.
Does that annoy people? Sure. I just don't give a fuck, bro. He shows you his watch. So what? Is he playing well on Sunday? Is he reading the coverage and getting the ball out on 3rd and 8 to make a big first down conversion for us? Is he doing the work? And listen, and not for nothing, by the way, this should all, honestly, given how the media talks about this fella I'm going to bring up, it should all come down to one sentence. Tom Brady swears by Shedeur Sanders. So why the fuck are we doubting him then?
He does.
Genuinely, he swears by Shedeur Sanders. So why the fuck are we doubting him then? Mm-hmm. Why? Mm-hmm. And this is not he just watched him a few times. He knows him. They talk all the time. He swears by Shedeur Sanders. And I will say one more good thing about Tom Brady, because that's going to meet the quota for the year. Hell, the decade, because fuck him. But I'll say this about Tom Brady. He is an ambassador for these current players in a way that's really beautiful. I appreciate that about Tom. Yes, he will tell you the truth, and he will say, even though I don't like when he starts talking about how the sport's officiated, this started with you. Fuck you. But yeah. I digress. He'll tell you the truth in that regard. It just started with you. Nobody benefited off this shit more than
rules.
You. I'm not
trying to hear that
rules.
Shit. Quarterback rule, tuck rule.
Right, but he'll tell the truth. I just don't want to hear from him. Regard whatever. But about the players, just yeah, I think this guy he's really good. He could work on X, he could work on Y. But he's really good for the sport. He's really good at his job. Blah, blah, blah. He works hard. Blah, blah, blah. He'll tell you all the good things about this player, and also be like, oh yeah, he can work on X. He wasn't that great today, blah, blah. He's a really good ambassador for the sport. So that's the last good thing I'm going to say about Tom Brady for the next decade. So I apologize to who I may have offended. I apologize.
Sticking with the draft, there's talks about the Giants trading up for Cam Ward from the number 3 spot to the number 1 spot. Teams have been pretty much pussyfooting around this whole idea of 2 black quarterbacks at the top of the draft again. And I'll say this much: Bryce Young and CJ Stroud in comparison to Ward and Sanders. Now, Bryce Young doing what he was doing in Bama, and Stroud doing what he was doing in Ohio State. It was good. Like, they were good in college. They were good collegiate guys. I think Young was undersized. He had a rough first year. He was better this past season.
Yep.
The expectation for Stroud wasn't as high. People had more expectations for Bryce Young. But just looking at collegiate careers, Cam Ward has had a better collegiate career than every quarterback mentioned. If I mentioned Stroud and Young and Sanders, he's had a better collegiate career as far as throwing the ball, not winning championships clearly. And Sanders, of course, with the fame he gets from his father and stuff like that, going from HBCU to Colorado and everything he had to deal with, all that stuff. There's some things in this game that's left to be desired. However, he's never had a real offensive line, never had a real running back, and pretty much had to throw the ball to Travis Hunter a million times, right? That was pretty much his offense. It was Travis Hunter, and I forgot the other young man that was there who was kind of emerging but kind of fell off during the season. But with Cam Ward, you pretty much know what you're going to get.
Right.
A team like the Tennessee Titans being willing to trade back from quarterback when their options are literally Will Levis and I believe Mason Rudolph. I don't get the NFL. I don't understand the NFL. I don't. I'm not going to pretend like I do. We're not, because one thing I always say, we're not experts. And a lot of people have podcasts and they talk like they're experts, and they're not. And I'm not saying as a diss. You're not close enough to the game.
A lot of people don't know as much as they think they know. That's the thing with me. I will never pretend. Like, I know what I know, or at least I think I know what I think I know, and I'll qualify a lot with, "Hey, man, I don't know." Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I do, bro. When I don't, I don't. If I don't, I don't.
And I'm one of those. I don't know. Like, I'll argue all day with you, but then in the fucking day, I don't know.
We don't
right?
know shit.
Don't know shit. Right. Yeah. But this whole thing, one thing I truly am confused by is how quarterbacks are perceived, because even if you don't like Sanders, the head and shoulders best quarterback in college last year was Cam Ward. Head and shoulders. And by far, everything you hear about him, about his arm strength, about his poise, about how he even talks to the media, is great. And yet a team like the Tennessee Titans are sitting there, and the GM was like, "Oh, well, I've got a couple of calls, like, willing to not draft Cam Ward." And then you ask, like, so is this a race thing? And people say, well, this is why people feel it that's way. It's a no fucking brainer to get Cam Ward, and yet the Titans are fielding calls to possibly trade back. Now, something that will make Jude Jackson's head explode is the fact that the Giants are trying to trade up to draft a black quarterback, because according to Jude, the Giants would never in a million years draft a black quarterback. So if they do,
listen, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of subscribe to that too. I'm just not as annoying as he is with it, but
I get it. I get it. But the Giants have never been in position to draft a black quarterback. That's the thing. Like, outside of homie that
I mean, that's not true though.
Yes, it's one person.
Now, if you want to say they've never been in position to draft a quarterback high, that's a different debate.
It was.
But, like, bro, there's 7 rounds in every single NFL draft. They've never drafted one. Like, that feels impossible, bro.
Hold on. The Giants are an old ass white team. They're 100 years old, right? 100 years old, old ass white team. I am going to forgive anything before the color barrier, and I'm going to forgive anything after that, because coaches, executives never looked at black quarterbacks, right? The Giants being one of the last teams to draft a black quarterback is something to pay attention to. But I will say this: outside of Dwayne possibly getting, I think it was the year they should have got Dwayne Haskins, got Daniel Jones. I think that was people were harping on.
Yes,
there haven't really
even that to me is a little bit of a reach.
It is. And I'm saying there hasn't really been a year where a good black quarterback was there for the Giants. Oh no, I'm going to take.
I will say that part is kind of true. Like, there's never been some like layup slam dunk. Like, they should have taken this guy. There's never really been.
Never been. So
I understand that. Yes.
Right. I'll the breadth of the argument. I'll give him that motion. Right. That part.
Right.
But I would love to see Jude's forehead just explode in pieces when the Giants trade up to number 1 for Cam Ward, because he's been swearing up and down that's never going to happen. Like, bro, the Giants need a quarterback, and unless they're that brain dead. And of course, a lot of Jets fans are counting on teams above them to be brain dead and letting Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward drop down anywhere past 3. We're actively rooting for racism. We're actively rooting for stereotypes, and
Shit, it worked for the Ravens.
It worked for the fucking Ravens. While everybody was like, no, you gonna let Lamar 24, 25, 26? Yeah, we'll trade up. Yeah. Yeah. Like, no, like,
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So I would love to, but I would love nothing but to see Juice's head explode for Cam Ward going to the Giants. Now, as a Jets fan, I would hate it, of course. I would definitely hate it. But the Giants just took a big swing and a miss at Stafford. And you know how big that swing was, Kevin? They offered him more money.
They did.
They offered more money.
They had a trade agreed upon, no? Is that not how it went?
Something that whatever I read was agreed upon.
Yeah, they had a whole trade agreed upon, and Stafford was like, all right, you got it, you win, you win. I'll do what you want. I'll come back.
Right,
I'll cook more.
I'll behave.
I'll clean more. Like I'll rub your feet, bro. I'll do whatever you want, baby. Please, baby, please, baby, please,
baby, please. Anyway, but the Giants, take me back, please.
Take me back
for less money,
please. And then they were like, all right, okay, all right.
So it's like you get this idea that the Giants are like, all right, we took this big swing, we missed. What's the next swing we take? Obviously, to go up to trade with the Titans for, you know what I mean? And it's easier to trade from 3-1 than it would be from 7-1. Another shot at you, Drew Jackson, whoever else thought that winning stupid games in December against the Jaguars and winning the last game of the season against the Dolphins meant shit. Like, keep telling you guys, like, these games
every
don't
year
mean
we have the
shit.
same conversation.
Every year we have the same conversation. Like, yo, the difference between picking 4 spots up and having a better chance of getting the talent coming out. I have spoken to NFL players. They do not want to lose. Nobody wants to go out there and lose. Some people have to hit incentives and stuff like that. Nobody wants to fucking lose. But guess what? There are teams that realize you're injured this week. You're injured this week. What? No, why are you sitting up? You're hurt. Remember that knee injury you had that we didn't report? We're reporting it now. Take a seat.
Yeah.
Because a lot of players have said NFL players are injured every week. They're injured.
A lot is not reported.
A lot of it is not reported. And sometimes someone has a nagging issue towards the end of the season that they decide to get surgery on because the season is done.
Yep.
You get me? So, yes, teams do know how to effectively tank, but that has somehow escaped the Jets. That, hey, maybe we should, hey, Aaron, you're done here. When it's chill out for the rest of the season? No, we got to keep up appearances. We got to make sure we look good for the fucking media that fucking hates. No, sit your ass down. Put in Tyrod. Put in whatever. Put in Martinez. We got to see what we got for next season. Let these niggas play. You know what I mean? Let them play and lose these games and take these 3 wins and secure your top 3 pick and have a better shot, because that's what they would have been if they have only won 3 games. 4 games, I think it would have been fine enough too. But alas, the Giants are in a better position than us to trade up to get Cam Ward. It will cost the Jets more to get a Cam Ward. But the Giants took a big swing and they missed. And that's why they are where they're at right now with this idea. But go ahead.
I'll circle back to the Titans' interest in Cam, or lack thereof, depending on your perspective. On one end, excuse me, on one end, the Titans not being interested, or excuse me, allegedly being very interested in trading out of one because they don't necessarily want to take Cam Ward, makes me feel amazing about Cam Ward's prospects as a player. Because if the Titans don't like him, I love him. Like, that's how I feel about it. Now, with that said, in general, like if you don't necessarily love the quarterback and you want to trade back in a vacuum, I think that makes some sense. Because to be fair here, I mean, we just finished talking about Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones went 6, largely because the Giants the Giants like the quarterback, and it's like we all knew, me included, and I'm not even a college football enthusiast. Like, I watched somebody do a film study on Daniel Jones. And I'm like, okay, that looks like a 3rd round pick, maybe a 2nd round pick, like a type of player. And he went top 6. And it's like, yeah, you're just doing it because he plays quarterback and you liked him. I don't think you could have watched that film and be like, you know what, I love that player.
Right.
If you don't love the player and you want to trade out and get and especially in this case, you'd be getting paid pretty handsomely to move from 1 to 3. If that's the case, in a vacuum, I think it's smart. I don't know enough about Cam Ward as a prospect, whether he's good, great, or elite, to have like any kind of hard and fast opinion on what the Titans should do. But that's how you feel, and you trust your evaluators. Then, like in a vacuum, I think it makes sense. Now, on the GM's part, I think it's fucking ballsy. Because here's the thing: if Cam Ward goes and balls out, you're on the clock. That's how this fucking works. Because Will Levis ain't shit. All right, like we know that Will Levis ain't shit. Will Levis is a meme. Like that's what we know Will Levis as. Like Will Levis was the best photograph player in the NFL last year. Because Buddy had every single funny picture you could find. Him laid out on the ground, him getting tackled as somebody was running past him as he threw a pick. All kind of whatever funny photo you could think of, Will Levis was part of it last year. He ain't shit. Now, with that said, if the GM passes on Cam Ward, okay, like, all right, it's your first year on the job. You can do that right now.
Right.
If Cam Ward goes out there and turns around the Giants, which maybe he will, maybe he won't. We've seen Jaden Daniels do it. I feel like Jaden Daniels is going to become the picture of this unfairly because that's a one type of situation anyway.
He
is. And there's nothing as a society we love more than pointing to anomalies. Be like, yeah, that could be us. No, it's an anomaly, bro. That's an outlier. Like, no, we can't be you. If it is, great. Count your fucking lucky stars and be done with it. But for the most part, it's not going to be you. With that said, you're on the clock. If he starts cooking, you're on the clock. You better figure it out and quick. Because if he starts cooking and your team is winning 6-7 games a year and your quarterback ain't shit and you cycling through veteran quarterbacks every year, that you're gonna get fired quick. And the Titans have it on record because they just fired their last GM after what, a season, 2 seasons? 2 seasons. They just fired him, and he wasn't even doing nothing wrong per se. And they were just like, "Hey man, we gotta get you out of here. We're sorry," and that was it. But largely, listen, if the Giants manage to get Cam Ward, great. All I have to say is, as somebody who is very invested in Malik Neighbors and Dynasty Fantasy Football Leagues, rock on, baby. Let's go, Cam.
I would definitely be behind it. But like the trending of quarterbacks in, like, let's say the past, let's go past 10 years, right? As far as quarterbacks concerned, we've had some good, we have some bad. We've had Jameis Winston, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young, Caleb Williams.
Yep.
This is the top of the draft.
The number one pick. Yep.
No more picks. Caleb was good last season. Bryce Young got better this season. People love Trevor Lawrence. I don't. We all know what Joe Burrow is. Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield. It's been good pick. And then outside of that, you have other guys who've just been good, right? It seems like the people who are concerned about the quarterback position is dying out. Like, guys, the changing of the guard is gradually happening. All the guys who were from 10 years ago are becoming our veterans. Mahomes is a veteran. Who else? I would say is a veteran. Kyler's up there. He's a veteran. Burrow's going to be a veteran. Like, eventually, after 5 years in the league, stuff like that, be considered a veteran. Like, we're going to see a change of the guard.
Lamar's about to be in what, year 8?
Yeah, Lamar, veteran. About to be 30 soon. Like, we have guys who are going to be carrying the league for the next 10 years as the torchbearers. The guys who played like long amount of time because quarterbacks are playing longer, and then the guys coming in are going to be the future in the face of the league. So a guy like Cam Ward coming in and playing for the Giants in the big market, like you said, like, he's good. Him and Malik Neighbors and Tracy work out. Like, bro, the Giants look like geniuses for moving up for 3-1, and whoever the Titans pick at 3, my guess would be Abdul Carter. Good luck. Like, good luck. I mean, we've seen teams make mistakes at the number 1 and trade up, trade back. Some of it worked out, some of it doesn't. Recent memory, of course, RG3. It didn't work out. It worked out for the at that time the Redskins. It didn't work out for the team that traded because all them picks didn't mean shit. So it's if teams are that pressed on not taking Ward and Shedeur Sanders, I feel like there's going to be a lot of teams that get lucky going forward. Next topic. Let's talk about the bad luck of the Dallas Mavericks. My lord. Kyrie Irving goes down with apparent ankle injury in last night's game. It seems like he was hurt, but we didn't know how bad. Like an ankle situation where people thought originally was ankle. Shot us 2 free throws, walks out on his own power or the assistance, whatever. Turns out he tore his ACL. The Dallas Mavericks are down now. Kyrie for the season. They're down the Brow for an indiscriminate amount of time. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. And Luka is living his best life as a number 2 seed in LA with the Lakers, who are basically chasing down.
All 270 pounds of him.
All 277 pounds of Luka. I'm gonna say one thing about this Luka thing. He does not look good in the Lakers jersey. He looks terrible. People are gassing that shit. Every time I see him in some yellow or purple, I'm like, ew. Like niggas.
White people don't look good in yellow in general. Like no bullshit. They just don't. They don't. Think about it.
The man in the yellow hat from
like black people great in yellow. White people just don't, bro. They don't. Like they don't. Like I'm not making this shit up. They don't. Like even in the Photoshops, he looked terrible. Photoshop's not supposed to look one way or the other. And the Photoshop, this looks awful, bro.
People are posting pictures of Luka in his jersey. Like I can't believe it happened. I was
bro, do you understand how happy I was they were wearing their Sunday whites on Sunday?
Yes, because the white,
like, great. Thank God he's not wearing yellow.
But that yellow and that purple.
It's awful. It's awful on him, bro. Awful. Nasty. Like the gold might, like if they went back to gold, that might do him a little bit better.
Yes,
a little bit better. But like yellow and white people, no sir, no sir, it don't look good at all.
Not looking good. It's looking good for them as a team. Not looking good for Dallas. Boy, oh boy, Dallas. The GM's getting death threats. The fan attendance is down, and this doesn't help. This doesn't help at all. It doesn't help your case to keep your job. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. Now, I do think the Mavericks have an opportunity to be better next season if you have Anthony Davis and Kyrie. You figure out the third piece, free agency. Maybe try to get Kevin Durant.
Maybe
you try to get KD. It's not that it can't be fixed, but right now. You can't fix a motherfucking thing. It is broken. It is broken. It's broken. It's broken. It's the toothpaste out of the tube. It's done. You're done. The baby's been thrown out with the bathwater. There's nothing salvageable about this season. Kyrie's an amazing player, regardless of what people perceive as eccentric nature. We haven't been nice to Kyrie at times. Well, Kyrie's an amazing player.
Understandably, he deserved it. To be fair,
amazing player, humanitarian type person. Certain things he does is questionable, but never wish bad on anybody. Speedy recovery for Kyrie, but man, Dallas. I would hate to be you today. I would hate to be you.
Listen, you will never hear this next sentiment from me in general because fans often stick with bad teams, like perpetually bad ones, and like they wear it as a badge of honor. So it's like I've never really subscribed to like I feel bad for insert fans of team. Like I feel bad for Browns fans. Why? They keep subscribing to get the email sent to them. They keep subscribing to get their ticket packages re-upped. They watch every game. Like nobody's asking you to do this. Nobody's making you do this. Now. That out of the way. I feel terrible for Mavs fans because they for real didn't sign up for this. Like, think about it. Like, bro, they were in the NBA Finals, 9 months ago? Literally 9 months ago. They were in the NBA Finals with Luka doing Luka shit. Like, yeah, the finals were not great, understandably. Like, it was a bad showing for Luka, period. Like, when you talk about the bitching at the refs, like the fouling out, the Celtics exposing his lack of effort on defense at times, yada, yada, yada. It was not a good showing. I'm not here to act like it was. He was also a 25-year-old playing in his first NBA Finals. Mind you, he dragged them there, okay? And mind you, he's one of the best young NBA players ever. Like, I'm not making this up, ever. So, like, imagine, I forget what date the Finals ended, but let's pretend it was June 16th. Imagine June 17th. You walk up to a Mavericks fan and say, "Hey man, I like what your team did. They'll be back." and then like a psychic comes down the street to talk to y'all, and he's like, "Psst, hey, Mavs fan, yo, in 9 months, Luka gonna be throwing lobs to LeBron James." You gonna be like, what? They traded LeBron to the Mavericks? Like, why would they do that?
LeBron's coming to Dallas? Yes.
Like, what are we trading? What are we trading for LeBron? I mean, fuck, it doesn't matter as long as it's not Luka and it's not Kyrie. I don't give a fuck. Trade whoever. Like, no. You're not understanding. He's gonna be doing that, looking real nasty in that yellow, and not nasty good, nasty bad. He gonna be looking real nasty in that yellow. Like,
that feels playing with highlighted yellow's gonna look terrible.
A highlighted yellow, yes. Like he gonna be doing that looking real nasty in that highlighter ass yellow that they got on. Just watch. It's like, no way. The Mavericks wouldn't do that to me. Bro, do you understand how many Mavericks fans woke up that Sunday morning not having a fucking clue what happened that Saturday night? Like,
no, that's the thing. They didn't wake up that Sunday morning because remember, it happened at midnight on our time. So at their time, it happened like 9 p.m. They're like 2 hours behind.
No, Texas is 1 hour behind us, no?
It's like an hour or two.
I thought Texas was an hour behind. I'm pretty sure Texas is an hour behind.
But they were up.
Listen,
they were up.
I'm probably wrong. Like, don't judge me, okay? Like, I don't. Listen, like, time zones is not my fucking area of expertise. Like, I know Cali's 3 hours behind us, bro. That's about all I got.
I think depending on where you are in Texas, I think the closer you are to, all right. So the way it goes, I think if you're closer to like El Paso, you're closer to 2 hours because I think that's where. Well, how far is Stephon behind us? 2 hours or 3? I think it's like 2 hours behind us. No, he's 3. He's in Arizona. He's 3. So I think it's closer to 2 if you're there. Dallas, I'm not too sure, but you can look that up. But they were up. They were up regardless of the hour or so. They were up. My black ass was sleeping. I was getting messages.
They're 1 hour behind us.
Right. So they were up. I was getting messages, and I was like, I woke up the next day like, what? What happened? What? When? Who?
Bro, Pedro called me. He was like, yo, did you see that? See what?
See
like
what?
I was playing on NCAA. Like, did you see that? I was like, no. What happened? Like, according to Shams, like, and he's talking exactly like this because he's confused. Like, according to Shams, like, they traded Luka. I'm like, Luka who? I know you're not talking about Luka Doncic. Yes, I'm talking about Luka Doncic. They traded Luka Doncic.
Oh my god, no.
I almost hung the phone up in his face. I was like, get off my fucking phone. He's like, bro, go to Shams. I'm not making this up, bro. I double checked this like 6 times before I fucking called you. So I'm like, okay. I went to the time. I'm like, oh my god, they traded Luka Doncic. Like, bro, it's hard to have a month of luck worse than this. And I understand this started with them making their own shitty luck by trading Luka in the first place. But like, bro, they got Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was playing the half of his life, got hurt in that same game. Lost Daniel Gafford that same day, then lost Kyrie weeks later. It's just, I feel terrible for Mavs fans because they didn't sign up for this. Like, you had what was supposed to be the Dirk heir apparent. You had that.
You did.
He was supposed to be that. And he's delivering on every single promise that was made when he was drafted. Like, hey man, he likes beer, he likes hookah. A lot of people do. I don't understand what he's an NBA player. All right, listen, is he the most in shape motherfucker you've ever seen? Sure, bro. No. He's not Captain America. I'm sorry. Okay. When he's putting up 35, 8, and 7 in playoff games, I really don't give a fuck if he's in great shape. I don't give a fuck how his muscle definition looks.
When Jokic came in the league, he looked a certain way physically, right?
He still does.
He's bigger now. He looks bigger now. But if you understand, man, these European players, if you just think about all the great European players, and just say looks, can anyone tell me a great European player who looked the part, like physically looked the part? Dirk doesn't look the part, right? When you go back to Dirk's rookie year, when he had the split bangs, and tell me he looked like he could play ball. Dirk didn't look the part. Jokic didn't look the part. Luka, we saw him play, but he didn't look the part. We're just talking about aesthetics. If you want to say like deadlift,
if we're just talking about physique, correct. Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah,
like none of them look like they're in great shape, but they'll bust your ass though. So
JJ said Giannis. You didn't see young Giannis if you're saying Giannis, JJ, because young Giannis.
But like, to be fair, like young Giannis turned into Jack Giannis really quickly.
Right.
To be fair, like it looked like in his case, all he needed was an NBA training program and some free food, and
right.
he was going to do that.
And he was going to be good.
But that's how it looked.
Right, but
like early on in his career, he was a fucking string bean.
He was
of course he was.
string
Yeah,
bean.
he was.
Zeus was right. So, but you look at these European players, and they're like, "Yo, anybody say they're yoked, and they look like something." No,
like
they
he's
don't.
the only. Like he's the only one that I can think of off the top. I'm sure there are other ones.
Right.
Not. I can't think.
Listen, I could go Detlef Schrempf, Arvydas Sabonis, Eldroskis,
like, wow, he's jacked.
Petrovic. None of them look like none of them look like some. So I don't know why people are looking at Luka. I mean, now I'll say this though. Were there times that Luka looked like he was out of sorts, like out of breath and stuff like that? That man embarrassed himself on national TV and did them push-ups, and his face was turning beet red. My brother, you're on the Lakers. You don't have to do this for nobody. We just that's not your calling, brother. Shooting 3-pointers and getting passes and stuff, that's your calling. Dropping down and give him 6.5 push-ups.
I must have missed that.
Bro, in warm-ups, he dropped down and started doing push-ups. First of all, the form was terrible. Secondly, his face was turning as red as the fucking cherries on this bottle. Luka,
nobody's paying you for that, though.
You free. Nobody's
paying you for that, man.
Nobody's
paying you for that.
You're not Mr. Universe.
And nobody's asking you to be that. Especially now the Mavericks traded you. It seemed like they're the only ones who had a problem with it, man.
They the only ones that's body shaming you. The Lakers are not body shaming you. And I know they call you Luka.
They accept Luka with all his curves.
Right. we just call Luka Lizzo.
Nah, get the fuck out of here, man. Nah.
Oh God! Shout out to Lizzo for losing all that weight.
We call him a big beautiful forward. Is that what we're doing?
BBF. BBF. Big beautiful forward. You're beautiful, Luka, and you're free. You're
beautiful just the way you are.
If you want to get some lap band surgery over the summer, so you can wear less and go out more and be a baddie on Sunset, go ahead and do it, man.
I don't think it's for him. Apparently, he's already wearing less and going out. If you let the Mavericks tell it.
Hey, they posted a picture of him. I don't know where he was. Maybe it was in South Beach, but he had his phone in his hand and he had a hookah pipe in the other. And it was like, yeah, that's who y'all know.
Bro, I'm not a hookah enthusiast, but I see that. I'm like, man, good for him. Look, he's having a great time.
Right.
I don't see the problem.
Right.
Like, he's having a great time. Like, was he doing this 2 minutes before the game? No. What's the problem?
Listen, they didn't want to pay him that contract, that Supermax. So they was going to put in the fine print. Not even the fine print. They're going to put boldly. You go in the fat camp. You can't. Yo, they're gonna put diet restrictions. No more hookah. No beers. No carbs. Like they're gonna put them on keto.
I'll say this one more thing about this, and I'm not the conspiracy guy on this show. I'll start by saying this.
That is true.
I have been workshopping one. I mean, I'm not workshopping. It's a really basic one, but I don't actually believe this, but I say that with a caveat. Now, with that said, look. LeBron is 40, right? Mm-hmm. We don't think he has much time left. We don't. Especially like on the previous iteration of the team, like before Luka, he had to do a lot more work because he had to create for other people, blah, 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 do all that work. Okay. What if, knowing that, I mean, and the face of the NBA discussion kind of like adds to this, like it kind of makes the point. But what if they're just like, all right, LeBron has been the face of this league for 20 years. Call it, right? He's been the face of the league for a long fucking time.
20 seasons, yeah, 20 seasons.
Luka has been LeBron's favorite player for like 6 years. Like he has said it unabashedly multiple times. Now, what if they're just like, all right, I know I'm not long for this job, and I know we don't really want to pay Luka. What if we, do the usual, throw the Lakers a fucking bone, because everybody loves to do that. Throw the Lakers a bone. And maybe you extend LeBron's career a year or two. Like maybe instead of playing 2 more years, he plays 3 or 4 more years.
Mm-hmm.
What if he does that? Now, with that said, like I don't actually believe that. But as I said previously on this show, any conspiracy with regard to this particular trade, I'm willing to entertain. Because it's so bad that there's nothing reasonable that makes sense. So like any fucking anything that's not like wildly crazy, I'm willing to entertain. With that said, I will come back on this show and say with absolute matter of fact, like I know that this is a conspiracy and say it's a conspiracy. If Nico gets fired and goes back to work for Nike, I will come on this show. Bro, Andrew, prepare yourself. Because if we're still doing this show by that time, bro, it could be Saturday at like 10:38 Eastern time. I'm like, Andrew, I know you got your kids. I know you got your family. I just need 10 minutes. Just find a space where we can be quiet, where you can be quiet away from your family for 10 minutes. I got shit to get off my chest now about this today, right now. Nico has been hired as Nike's vice president. Really interesting. He went back to Nike after doing that trade and then getting fucking fired. He went back to Nike. Listen, that happened. I will come on the show like I know, like I was in the room when they cooked up the conspiracy, bro. I will come back like I was in that room and say, "Yo, that's what happened." But I feel terrible for Mavericks fans. They decided for none of this shit, bro. And it's been the worst month you could pretty much draw up. So I feel bad for y'all. If you know a Mavericks fan, hug him, buy him some cookies, buy him some pizza, whatever. Like buy him or her some pizza, whatever makes him happy. Just give that to them today. Love your favorite Mavericks fan, please. They need it.
That's true. Some more news. We now have a new sponsor, and that sponsor is me. I am now the new official sponsor of our program. I am the official sponsor of Middle Initial Podcast.
You sure there's not a conflict of interest here, Andrew?
No conflict of interest. I'm now the official sponsor of the Middle Initial Podcast. Now listen, what's going on with this picture? A lot of times, you do things for yourself, you do things for your family. I had a business that I started some years ago, and I brought it back. And I'm going to promote my business on our show because what better way?
Business, man.
It's my business. Crown Nectar. Definitely, Crown Nectar is my brand of natural juices and sea moss. As you can see, what I've been sipping on right here is my carrot juice. This is carrot, orange, ginger, and sea moss. It's very good. Very good. People, one of my premier clients is Chris Williamson from CBS. Name drop. Name drop.
I swear by it too, man. But yeah.
But no, it's definitely good, and I'm going to use the money that I make off of this to continue to support the podcast. So Crown's mission is to provide naturally revitalizing sea moss juices rooted in nature to empower individuals on their journey to optimal health and well-being. When you're feeling down, reach Fitted Crown, created by a bearded man, which is me. So Crown Nectar, drink to your health.
Yes.
And that is the last bit of news that I have. And since that was a shameless plug, it's time for our favorite portion of the show. Have some shame. If I can find the video. Where's the video? There's the video.
Shame. Shame.
Play the video.
Shame. 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 Shame.
Have some shame. Kev, who are we shaming this week? You sent me something specifically to shame, so we'll start off with yours and we'll finish with mine.
Yes.
To this young man, whoever this is, Kev is about to shame you.
Bro. Like, I understand we're in the era where everybody likes attention. Everybody wants to be a meme. Everybody wants to go viral. Like, I'm 37 years old. I'm largely too old to relate to any of this shit. So, like, I know you've seen the gif of, like, the woman with, like, the math equation running around her head. She's mad confused. Like, that's me when I see this type of shit. Like, I'm just confused. Because it's just like, all right, it's bad enough, right, that you're simping for a man who took money to go somewhere else. Like, literally, this is what it is. You're simping for a man. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Juan Soto too. But I'm never going to stop loving Juan Soto. I don't give a fuck what team he plays for outside of Boston. Like, as long as he never plays for them, we could be cool. Love Juan Soto. He took $45 million more. I would have done the same. So, no problems with Juan Soto. I'm not running around with no fucking sign to tell you I love Juan Soto. For what? Like, why am I doing this? But it's bad enough that you have this sign. You're being photographed with a Red Sox fan
Mm-hmm.
who is choking you. Like, are you calling him daddy too? Like, I don't like what are we fucking doing? Like, why are you like? Why does it look like you are turned on while this photo is being taken? Why is this photo being taken? What like is this are you do you have a humiliation kink? Genuinely asking. Because there's nothing about this shit that isn't lame or fucking embarrassing, and it looks like you have a like. Why do you have? Why does another grown man have his hand around your neck as you simp for another man? Where does any of this make sense? Where does any of this compute? Why do you think this is a good idea? And then after you took the photo, I'm sure you looked at it. Like, granted, not like women do, because women be analyzing photos like Mel Kiper analyzes draft prospects, but that's another story for another fucking day. I'm sure you looked at it and you still thought, yo, let me hit send on this. Why? Where's the shame, bro? Like, is shame just like out of stock? Like, they stopped selling it at Walgreens? Like, where's the shame?
There's none. There's no
It's so bad on just the simple baseball level is bad. On the interpersonal level, it's bad.
It's bad.
Why are you being choked by another man? I don't understand. Like, why is that relevant to the? If that was a Mets fan doing it, at least that somewhat makes some sense because they took the play. Fine. A Red Sox fan is choking. I don't have some shame.
Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame.
It's a twofer. It's a twofer for the shame. I'm going to shame one of my favorite people to shame. I love shaming this man. He is nothing short of anything negative you could think of. A bootlicker, a liar, a propagandist, whatever you want to call this man who's been in the game for a long time. And I'm not saying it's time for him to hang it up. Low key I am. But Stephen A. Smith, you're like, we know, we get it. We understand to the peers, your box office, you're this, you're that, everything. Mm-hmm. But outside of the fact that you said you're going to run for president as a Democratic candidate and stuff like that, and all of the bullshit because you think you could win the presidency. I don't know why you think. I mean, it's not about you being a black man. I don't know why you think you can win a presidency at all. The other day you were on Fox News talking about Elon Musk and talking about giving him a chance. This brother here is Elon. He's a billionaire. He's an intelligent dude. Let's give his brother a chance. You talking to Sean Hannity, who's your man's $100,000, because he also cool with that Republican cowboy coon ass dude as well. I forgot his name on the point. But you know, Sean. You know, we hear people talking about Elon. You know, give that brother a chance. Give him a chance. He's intelligent. He's an intelligent dude. He's in. No. We are witnessing a grift of monumental proportions where the lives of the American public are at stake. And you still pick the platform. Of course you're going to Fox News because nobody at ESPN want to hear that shit. No one on MSNBC, CNN, anywhere else. You know which platform to go to. So you go to Fox News, you sit down with Sean Hannity, and you talk to the only person who's going to listen to you spew this bullshit about giving Elon a fucking chance. We are about a month into this presidency. Eggs are $11 a fucking carton. They're talking about cutting Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, they threatened the Department of Education. Trump's on Truth Social threatening people, talking about, if you're wearing masks and stuff like that, if you're doing this. There's a lot of bullshit going on. And you're talking about giving Elon Musk, a person who's not an inventor. Let's just start chopping that fable. He's not an inventor. He hasn't invented anything. I don't know if he has patents or not, but I know he hasn't invented anything. He bought Tesla. He bought Starlink. He didn't invent Starlink. Starlink has been working with NASA for a while. He doesn't invent anything. He buys things. He is a purchaser. He's a purveyor of what's going on, and he buys it. He also is deregulating departments that are investigating him. He's deregulating departments that are watching him. I don't know why you choose. I mean, I do know why, but I don't know why you choose to say the things you do and think, well, I'm a brother. I've been around. I'm a brother. I'm a black man. Damn it! Like you do all that posturing bullshit, and you run to Fox News and say, "Give Elon a fucking chance," while everyone else is screaming, "Fire, fire!" It's just a little warm in here. It's just warm, but take off your sweater if you're warm. Just take off your sweater. Give the brother a chance. Like, shut the fuck up, dog. Like, it's so tiring to hear you speak. It's so tiring to hear you speak because it's the same posturing bullshit, and you get away with it because nobody going to check you. But guess what? I don't work for ESPN. I have no desire to be part of a big network. And I would tell you to your face, shut the fuck up. Please. Please shut the fuck up. Stop talking on behalf of black people. Stop saying you have the authority to talk on behalf of black people. Stop saying you know what the nation wants. Stop saying you're running Democrat, but you blame Democrats and everything. And then you turn around, you're hanging out with the David Duke of black man. I forgot this dude's name, but he wears a cowboy hat. He has a mustache. He looks stupid. That's your man's $100,000. Stop talking as if you give a fuck. Talk about sports. And as a matter of fact, stop talking about sports. You know why? When LeBron said what he said about the face of the league shit, a lot of people think he was talking about Skip. He was talking about your ass. He was talking about you.
You know, my part is that Stephen A. went the next day and just made it. It just confirmed his point for him.
Confirmed his point.
You just made his point for him. But thank you.
You constantly berate that man. Constantly. Jordan's better. You know. I think it's better. Shannon. Michael Jordan.
Bro, this whole thing started with Stephen A. and Skip. The whole thing started. And people were like, "Oh, well, people got criticized before." Yeah, bro, it was less frequent. Number one, number two, it wasn't a fucking daily show every day at 10. Like people would write hit pieces about MJ too. I'm not here to act like they didn't. Especially before he won chips, I know that happened. You're gonna compare the 1987 news cycle to 2012 or 2005 or come on, bro. Like, I'm just begging. For the people who are somehow agreeing with Stephen A. Smith and the ilk, fine, do you? Can we just exercise a little bit of common sense? A little, a smidgen, a dash, if you will, of common sense.
Just look at all the people who have pushed back against Stephen A. and where they're at. Monica McNutt said to him, "You have the power. You have the. Oh, be careful. I'm just disrespectful, Monica. Be careful." You know what I mean?
He loves that be careful bullshit. He loves that shit so much. Like, bro, you're not gonna send goons, bro. Be careful.
I have people too, Monica. Kevin Durant making threats against me. How dare you? Blasphemy. Like, shut the fuck up, nigga. Like, shut up, bro. It's the song in this is you have the power to change the narrative about the NBA. Just like the dudes on TNT have the power, but the problem is the Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal.
It's not profitable.
It's not profitable.
But what's the fucking positive?
The biggest thing,
even though really I can't even say that in good faith because the NFL is covered way differently outside of the Cowboys. It's covered way fucking differently, and we don't have these fucking these relentless conversations about all the like. Listen, we've been doing load management conversations for like 10 years now. And it's like, if you look at the amount of people who were actually like frequent load managers, like if you look at the people who were actually were doing that often, it wasn't that many. That's crazy. If you look at the people who were doing that often, it wasn't even that many people. It would be like baseball. Granted, it doesn't get covered nearly as much. It's more regional, yada yada yada. Fine, but like imagine fixing our face to talk about Anthony Rendon all the time. Like that's what NBA team do, NBA media members and fans to a lesser degree do. It's like we hyperfixate on like Zion. That nigga's not playing. He's not playing. There's so many people in the NBA doing great things every night, and this goes back to when like Popovich was basically giving the middle finger to the league with load management. Blah blah. This goes back to then too. Like he's giving like 4 dudes a day off at the same time. Yeah, bro, they're 40 games over 500. The games don't mean shit to them no more. Right. I don't know what to tell you. You don't get to sit here and tell us every 2 seconds the regular season doesn't matter, and then get mad when fucking NBA teams are like, regular season doesn't matter. Like they're saying the same shit. You guys agree. Y'all agree that regular season doesn't fucking matter. They're acting like it. Like,
and they're trying to and Silver's trying to make it matter actively by throwing the in-season tournament to make it matter.
And
we can't figure out how to make that work. Right, and the man at that,
like
yeah.
NBA fans want to complain. Like
Right.
I've been saying this for like 8 years. NBA fans just they're not happy if they ain't complaining.
But here's the thing, and I realized it the last time we had this conversation. I'm realizing it now. It is about power, and a person like Stephen, who has a lot of power in the media, realizes his power is not enough to change the NBA narrative,
Right.
to change the player's perspective. And the thing about that is, the NBA is a majority black league. I get it now. I like I wasn't active shooter. I understand it now. Y'all are,
yo, that nigga's a terrorist. But go on. Go on.
Understand it now. I get it now. I understand now, Kev. I get it. I understand it now.
I understand now. As this nigga tries to throw a fucking
gummy bear
basketball hoop from 80 feet.
and nail that shit.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not like I wasn't super familiar with his game until like recently. I've started to see him on my IG For You page or whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yo, I really don't like this nigga. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really don't like this guy. I just don't. I understand it now. It's like, and then you have people all over the comments like, understand what? Who's saying shit about you, bro? We know your name by now.
Form, nothing.
Like if you're bored, just fucking say that shit.
Yo, son. Throwing gummy bears in a water bottle.
Leave me alone. Who's talking shit, sir?
Listen.
Because I read the comments. I'm new here, yes. But I read the comments. All of them are saying the same. Like, bro, who's talking shit to you?
Who's talking to you, bro?
Who's talking shit?
That's the crazy shit. Who's talking? Nobody.
Who's talking to you? Nobody. Like, I understand it now. Like, bro. Anyway, sorry.
But,
go ahead.
But no, listen, I do. I understand it now.
It's a whole bunch of black people with a lot of power.
It's a whole bunch of black people with a lot of power, and people don't like it. And they can't control it. Because with the NFL, if you say enough, they'll take end racism out of the end zone. If you say enough. In the NFL, if you say enough, they'll make the national anthem a part of every fucking game. In the NFL, if you say enough, if you do enough.
But keep politics out the game, by the way. Even though the national anthem gets played every game. But I digress. Go ahead.
In the NFL, if you say enough, they'll change it. The discourse right now, the discourse is whether or not the Eagles are going to the White House. I haven't heard anything positive that they are. I don't know how long it normally takes, but we're in March now. If they haven't gone by now,
right? Yeah, it's been a minute, but yeah.
But we know we do know the president left the game early because he knew that Mahomes' wife is a big fan. He knew there's some players on there. Oh, I'm definitely going to go. Blah blah blah. But the NFL could manipulate that. When Golden State said no. What happened? It's a no. Other people follow suit. No. Players were waiting. I remember players like literally were waiting, like, all right, we're going to go when Biden is there. We're going to go hang out with Obama. We're not going to go see this man. They can't control that. So you can't control the star of the league. You can't control who wants to be the face. You can't control when they play, when they don't play. So people feel like the whole thing with the NBA Player Association with the 65-game minimum is a form of control. But guess what? They still don't.
But and guess what, bro? Dirty secret. Most of the players were playing that amount of games anyway.
Right.
Like
on average.
We decided to focus on Ben Simmons and Zion Williamson and Kawhi Leonard. And Kawhi being thrown in there has always been fucking insane to me because the motherfucker has a defective body. I don't know what you want him to do about it. He can't he can't sell it back, bro. It's a defective body. It's not like you think he wants this? It just happened. It just happened, bro. You think he wants this?
You got the hat on and the hoodie too. So
I should have put the hoodie on. Yeah, I did, and the beanie too. That's funny. Actually, I didn't even put two together. That way. You think I want this? He doesn't fucking want this shit. It just happened. But yeah, I mean that's just what it is. But yeah, they can't. And I mean, if we want to sum up the difference between the NBA and the NFL, the leagues, and how they're covered, and how the fans talk about it. One of them has a shield as the logo, and the other has a player as a logo.
That's
two
it.
is four. It's right there. It's right there, bro. Everything kind of circles back to those two things.
Right. The NBA is a players' league, and us. And here's our job. Here's the homework for the people watching the show. About to wrap this up. Here's the homework. Follow your favorite team, watch the game, and shut the fuck up.
I thought you was about to go somewhere like
no.
I thought you was about to go like actually ask them to do something and be like,
"This is your homework. Watch your team, watch them play, and shut the fuck up." Because the theys, when we say they, right, the conservative white man, the conservative Negro, whoever who wants this whole law and order shit for the league, they want to change the league. And if we are complaining with them and not arguing against them and pushing back against them, eventually someone's going to make a change. Fortunately enough for us, there's a lot more black players, coaches, and executives in the NBA that could prevent that. But we have to be on their ass, which means stop watching ESPN and stop watching Stephen A. Smith. Watch the 520 podcast. Watch Gil's Arena. As much as I don't like what Gil be saying sometimes, that is actually real fucking talk from NBA players.
Gil's a mixed bag.
He's a mixed bag. He's a mixed bag. But you have a McCants on there who represents, hey, I didn't make it the way I wanted to make it. And he had said the other day, I didn't do what I want to do. And I came back after 10 years of being gone. And I could talk my shit and I could say what I'm saying. People don't like it. He's true. He's right. He did. He won an NCAA championship. He was making his way in Minnesota. He got hurt. He fell out the league. Went to Europe. Whatever. He was gone. He's back. You can't shut him up. He lived through a lot. Can't shut him up. Gilbert Arenas at one point in time we thought he was a top 5, top 10 scorer in the league. Brandon Jennings. He represented, I'm not going to do this your way. I'm not going to fucking college. I'm going to go to Europe and come back and still be drafted. You know where I was drafted, right? Kenyon Martin went to Cincinnati, broke his leg. Veteran journeyman. He represents the old school hard knock. He snuffed Karl Malone. Kenyon Martin, shout out to you because you brought that story up that you snuffed Karl Malone. I appreciate you. And you don't fuck with George Karl. I appreciate you, dog. If I meet you, I'm gonna shake your hand, brother. I fuck with you, Kenyon Martin. Even when you was on the Knicks, I fuck with you. Even when you on the Nets, I fuck with Kenyon Martin. Shout out to him. But that's what I like about that show because it's all representation. Nick Young being this, pretty much a scrub, like kind of a scrub journeyman. Yeah, but everybody's represented in some sort of form and fashion. Then they bring WNBA players on and stuff like that. Sure, some of the shit they say is outrageous, but you can't gatekeep them niggas. The TNT niggas are gatekeeping the NBA. Stephen A. Smith is gatekeeping the NBA for the wrong reasons because they want 90s basketball shit back. It can't go that way. You know what I mean?
And bro, y'all would complain about that if it came back, man. Like that's my thing, bro. Y'all can like it if you want, fine. I think there's a whole lot of revisionism going on about the 90s and 2000s basketballs, a lot of it. But like, bro, you can't the ISO heavy 2000s basketball. Y'all want that back? No, you don't. No, you. This is not to big up the current era. I like the current era of basketball. I understand why it's not for everybody. Because let's face it, the stuff closer to the basket is more fun or more entertaining than it is shooting threes. I'm not here to fucking argue with you at all with that. I'm not. Mm-hmm. But like my problem with these discussions is I'm too old for this. Because I watched all of this basketball that y'all are claiming. And like, it wasn't what y'all say it was. I was a stupid ass kid. That's why I enjoyed the 90s basketball as much as I did. Part of that, and the NBA definitely packaged themselves better, 100%. Mm-hmm. And it was just, they made you feel like every game mattered. And now, again, part of that was me being a stupid kid. Full on understand. Like, I was 10 years old in 97, bro. Like, I didn't know no fucking better. Right. So it was like, now I got other shit to do. Like, all right, the Knicks are losing by 24. All right, bro, let's get on this NCAA. All right. I got cell phone games to play. I got whatever. I got people to talk to. Like, you got mad shit to do. Like, and Adam Silver spent a lot of time trying to cater to people with low attention spans. Mm-hmm. I don't even blame him. I just don't. I don't think that's a battle you're gonna win though. Like that's the thing. I don't think it's no matter how you want to slice it. Oh, like I'm gonna change the quarters to 10 minutes. That's still a 40-minute game, number one. And number two, we know how the fuck this goes. You're going to play your 40 minutes and you're going to put more ads and the game's going to take the same amount of fucking time. We know how the fuck this ends already.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's the long and short, guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Shout out to Twitch. We're going to do this every week with Twitch. Shout out to Twitter. I'm not calling X. Fuck Elon Musk. Fuck Elon Musk. Suck a dick. Fuck Doge. Fuck Trump. That's how I'm rocking. If you don't like what I'm rocking, don't watch the show. Suck my dick. Follow us on YouTube. Stay inspired by 69. Peace.